I am still smiling. Yes, I'm still smiling because yesterday you and me and the rest of the world, we won a tremendous victory against our digital overlords. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, yesterday in the wee hours of the morning, YouTube decided to deplatform a radio station here in London called Talk Radio. And one of their hosts is a man by the name of Mike Graham, who's been on London Real. And I appreciate the content they put out because it challenges the mainstream narrative. They challenge government officials specifically around the cost benefit of this lockdown. They ask hard questions. And the funny thing is they're regulated by Ofcom here in the UK, which is an organization that's actually big on censorship. And it's funny that they were okay with their content because they thought that it showed both sides of the story. But some company in Silicon Valley decided to oppose freedom of speech, basically restrictions on the citizens here in London and the UK. Can you imagine? And that's because these tech companies are bigger than governments. They are. They're more powerful, and they wield their power however they want. And so I was pretty shocked that they pulled this channel with 250,000 subscribers, tens of millions of views. They just yanked it, deplatformed, banned, and deleted it overnight without telling anybody. Now, I wasn't that surprised because this nearly happened to me in April of last year, in May of last year, in June of last year, as we decided to exercise our right to free speech and have conversations that, again, were against the narrative. We were a little early to this game, but we have been in a major battle with YouTube. And as you remember, they banned and deleted my first conversation with David Icke on April 6th of 2020. And it was the second largest YouTube live stream in the world that day. So clearly people wanted to listen, but YouTube said, no, it's not allowed. And the BBC here was not even helpful. They were the ones that asked YouTube to take it down. So there's media for you and tech platforms. And so by the end of the day yesterday, after a lot of outcry, and I posted vlogs on that same platform saying this is ridiculous, YouTube completely did a 180 and re-platformed them, which I was amazed and shocked to see. Now you might say, Brian, why does it matter? Freedom of speech, it's not really a big deal. You know, does it really matter? That was the old days where it mattered. No, that's not true, especially when they have us locked down. Digital freedom of speech is everything. Right now you're watching me on a digital platform because we're not allowed to hang out and talk to each other. So when these private tech companies, these trillion-dollar behemoths, come out and have these community policies, they start restricting your freedom of speech, and it's very, very dangerous. Because if we cannot go against the narrative of the government, if we can't ask hard questions like they do over at Talk Radio, or introduce counter narratives like we do here at London Real, then everything breaks down. Your whole future is bleak because now it's a totalitarian state. And we've seen what's happened in the past, and we have to be vigilant to make sure this doesn't happen again. And that's why my open letter last year was signed 250,000 times. That's why we've gone head to head with these platforms. That's why we created our own digital freedom platform and streamed incredible content there, and still get so many visitors and so many views every single day, because that's the only place you can find that content on the web, because it's been deleted on every other social platform. So it's always funny to me when people meet me and they say, oh, are you still being censored? I'm being censored every single day. I'm probably being shadow banned right now on the network you're watching me, and most of my followers can't even watch this video. This is the reality, and we've got to fight back. And yesterday we won. So I just want to say congratulations to everybody who pushed back against this deplatforming, who pushed back against YouTube. I want to say congratulations to the people at Talk Radio. I appreciate you. And it's not just because I agree with some of their views. Everyone has the right to free speech. Period. All right? Someone should be allowed to say what they're thinking. You should have an open and honest debate. Period. When you start trying to silence people, you go down dark roads. And this is a time now where our freedoms are so important because our future is based on us communicating, and it's based on challenging ideas and challenging the science and challenging our politicians who are failing us on a daily basis. So if we don't have these platforms, we're literally dead, and it's great to see a tech company reverse it and listen to the people. So let's stay vigilant, let's fight for these rights, and let's keep pushing these companies because we are the customers. They make money off your data. They make money off your eyeballs. We are actually in control, but sometimes we forget it, and sometimes we bow down to our tech companies, to our politicians, to our governments that we think are more powerful than us. They're not. They are us. And if we can exercise our right to vote on May 6th, right here, for the mayoral race in London and for the future elections, we can change the game. And if we demand our tech platforms to respect our right to free speech, which is a basic human right, then we can find a way out of this. So please leave your comments below. Do you think we should fight for freedom of speech, or do you think I'm crazy? What do you think about that deplatforming yesterday? And if YouTube is watching this, please listen to us. Adjust your community policies. Stop vilifying us for speaking our minds and speaking our truths. It's not fair. It's not constitutional. It's egregious. It's an abuse of human rights. Stop it now.